This is James Arnold Taylor, voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Welcome to a more civilized podcast. This is the podcast you're looking for. You may not go about your business. Stay here, listen, and then move along.
Well, hello there, listeners. Jackal Kenobi! There it is. Back again this week is our good friend and fact checker, Steven.
Hello.
There he is.
Hello, Steven.
He's here to keep us in line and fact check us live on the air.
I don't know if it's going to be easier or not than usual.
I know, right? Yeah. But continuing with last week's Imperial procedures and the hijacking thereof, Steven is going to be hijacking the news from Ross.
No. It's newsy news.
Nope, just the news.
No!
He's the one doing the news. It gets to be what he says.
Just for
I've never been here.
So,
Ross is calling in remotely. Steven has
Yeah.
locked him away.
Yeah, so take it away, Steven.
I am defenseless.
Nah, Steven's doing a great job, though, with the news.
I mean,
Z.
we'll see. I haven't done it yet.
Yes, you have, Steven. You did it last week.
I haven't done
Magic
it yet.
of podcasting.
Haven't done it yet this week.
There you go.
Okay, so I don't know the name of the channel, but somebody animated the Colin Trevorrow script for episode 9.
Mm-hmm.
True story.
Yeah. Watch it today. Interesting. There's things in it that I felt were better than Rise of Skywalker, but there's things in it that I felt like they were just...
It's definitely the most accessible version of that script we've gotten so far.
Yeah.
Which is a good way to show that it was kind of crap to start with. Like.
It was crap to start with, but I still feel like we're going from like an F to a D minus with Colin Trevorrow. Like it is overall, I think, better, but there's a lot of problems still.
Yes, and
I think you also have to keep in mind it's like a first rough draft too.
Yeah, there is that.
I'll also say this: I don't think he made Palpatine a clone. So there is
well,
that.
and he actually, remembered that there was a movie that came between Force Awakens and this one, so that's helpful.
In the animated one, they actually point out that it's like, oh yeah, and Palpatine is dead, because why wouldn't he be? And let's go online with it.
Yeah.
It's Nick.
Yeah, so there's that. It's pretty easy to find on YouTube. Just type animated episode 9 script. You should be able to find it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's also in our Facebook group too.
Yes, shared by Steven.
By Steven.
Oh, yeah, I did.
That's why we're having him do the news. Well, we said about this last week. That's why we're having him do the news. He's always sniping the news out from underneath us.
Yeah. And then, second one, actor Michael Bean?
Bean? I don't know.
Yeah,
Michael
Bean.
Yeah, he's from Aliens Terminators. Evidently will be showing up in Mandalorian Season 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've seen a lot of people excited about that, and I'm like, that's sure a person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sure he will be a person.
I've seen Aliens. I don't think I've seen Terminator. Those are both
I've seen
popular
Alien.
movies.
I'm going to get around to Aliens eventually.
Oh, yeah. Alien. Yeah, Alien. I've seen Alien, but,
I've got the 6-film set sitting here in the house that we're at my house these 2 weeks, by the way.
Yeah.
It's super trippy. Which means that there is a 99% lower likelihood of any doggy background noise or doggy interruptions, but a 99.999999999% higher chance of children background noise or children interruptions.
Yep.
So,
we'll trade it one for the other.
yes.
Like trading the Republic for the Empire. It's really no different.
Yeah, basically the same thing, right, Ross?
Sure.
Okay, and then last one is based off some concept art for Mandalorian Season 2. Captain Rex supposedly will be in Mandalorian Season 2, which I'm much more excited about that.
That will be interesting. There's a lot of ways that can go wrong, I think, and only a couple ways that can go right.
Don't want them to
I'm a little
lean too
worried.
heavily on the familiar characters, yeah.
Yes.
Although I did see a thing about William Morrison had said that he would like to play Rex in that, and I was like, if they did that, I don't care what they do with him.
Okay, yeah,
I don't
I'd be
care.
all over
They could
that.
write the worst script ever. At least I get to see him as Rex. That'd be awesome.
That would be way cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree with you, Chris, 100%. We've got a lot of interesting ingredients as far as characters go for The Mandalorian. not a whole lot, or not as much was done with it in season 1 as I would have liked, but like Giancarlo Esposito, like I want to see more of this super smug, self-assured Moff,
Absolutely.
you know? And so I agree. I hope we're not just going to be like, hey, thanks for this new show, which is now just a skeleton to throw all this nostalgia on.
Yes.
Rebels and Clone Wars.
Yeah.
I hope they go more of the next generation route and grow a beard for season 2. And
Yes.
improve
Well,
that,
Rex would have a beard, so we get to
Yes.
see Tamora Morrison with a facial hair this time.
which would
Yeah,
be
great.
Yeah, then he'll be in our best beard episode, part 2.
Ooh, yeah. Man, that man would look terrifying with a beard. So intimidating. I love it.
I know,
I do
right?
have-
Give it to me now.
You mean episode?
Yeah, yeah, part Dooku. I love it.
Fellas, I do have one thing to add to this story.
You're not allowed, Ross. You're not in charge of the news. Go ahead. I give you
You
permission.
scared him away.
No, so I did see on Twitter discussions about this where some people were saying that this isn't actually new art. This is more of just a reposting to Filoni's banner, and that this was actually art that actually came from like some Rebels concept art. Now, this is all just conversation of people on Twitter, but it may or may not actually be a thing. I haven't been able to find a confirmation either
Could
way.
just be we got this covered trying to piggyback on the Ahsoka news.
Yeah.
That is there.
Well,
and
and it's-
other places have been known to do similar things where it's like, here's some news. We know Ahsoka's going to be there, so that means so-and-so's going to be there too. And it's like, that is
They
suspect.
don't quite understand the definition of news.
Yeah, well, they
Yeah.
they understand the definition of clicks.
Yep, that is true. Okay, well, for this week's
So that was
episode...
the newsy news.
That was
Just
the regular news. Oh, it feels so good to not have to fight on...
Enjoy it while you can.
I'm
Yeah,
going
you only got this for 2 weeks unless some crazy thing happens. I'm here every week.
to... Hey, it could happen.
Don't
Careful,
tell me.
careful. All the team news out there sharpening their knives. It's like,
Yeah.
hey,
This is the moment we've been waiting for.
you went to that evening Last Jedi watching, didn't you? When they watched Force Awakens, you know where Ross lives. Let's go get him.
I actually know where all 3 of you live now.
That's true. That's
You know the
upsetting.
neighborhood where Ross lives. I don't know if you know where Ross lives. His
I can see
actual
a car
apartment.
parked outside
Oh,
of it.
dang
You
it,
can,
that's
you
true.
can just take out all of Ross's neighbors too.
Burn down the entire complex.
I am Imperial at heart, so
There you
it
go.
would be my ammo.
Okay, well, this week is going to be a little interesting.
Yes.
And the preparation for this week was painful.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, man.
So...
When I saw your post about it, I was just like, oh no! Why?
Yeah, you felt bad for me, didn't you?
I did.
It was, so we are, Ross and Chris have come up with a series of questions because this is a quiz show.
Yes.
Okay, this is a trivia show. And it's going to be me and Steven because the reason we decided to do it this way is that clearly I can stomp Chris and Ross into the ground with very little effort.
True, and Ross can usually stomp me into the ground.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the only way for it to be somewhat fair is to go with the new stuff that we haven't seen as much.
Yeah.
And,
Well, I thought it would be more appropriate to give you both, like, original trilogy quiz, see who has the greatest depth of knowledge. Maybe we'll do that in the future.
Ooh,
but I thought it would be
like that.
funny to take the 2 experts and then give them the stuff that they're least familiar with.
which I fully agree. I'm all down for this.
What you should do, which I don't think you've done yet, is do trivia on the animated shows, which I still
Yep,
think Kyler
that's
and I
coming
still
up.
both know
Oof.
more about.
That's true. That's fair. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Do some Clone Wars Rebels.
Right.
Well, you'll be
Maybe.
back, Steven. So, and since Steven is our lone Patreon supporter,
Woo!
he can come on.
'Cause
Also because he's our buddy,
Yeah.
even if he was.
Yes.
And I still have a flow of income during this time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It is nice.
Which is appreciated. But anyway, even if you weren't Steven, you can still come on the show. We like you. So yeah, we're going to, Ross and Chris are going to be throwing out questions
Yes.
for me and Steven.
Russ and I both independently came up with our own questions, so we'll see how much crossover we've got.
Oh yeah, true.
With maybe a short episode. But
My wife, so before we get going with this, I have to share a couple of funny little stories.
absolutely.
So, I have watched the sequel trilogy over the past 3 days. So we're recording this on a Friday. So Tuesday I watched 7, Wednesday I watched 8, Thursday I watched 9. And, I told my wife, hey, this is what's going on. We're recording, doing this trivia show. She has taken this way more seriously than I have. She's like, you have to win. You have to win. I'm like,
I disagree.
But do I though? Like, I don't know that I want to win more, especially where episode 9 is involved. Like, I'm happy to take a loss on that. She's like, no, you have to win. You're the Star Wars expert. I'm like, that's true, but... So that was just a funny thing, seeing how into this my wife was getting, that she was like, after each movie would end, she's like, what was that creature, Kyler? Like, what's that called? Do you know what that is called? What is this ship called, Kyler? Do you know that? These could be questions. And I'm like, they could be, but it's also Chris and Ross coming up with them, so it might not be.
I had the same exact problem. I'm like, if they could ask about that, I was like, they probably don't even know if that person's a character and has a name. I doubt they'll come up with a question for
I have limited my stuff to stuff that actually appeared in the movies or the visual dictionaries.
And I figured it would be like...
I am as well.
Was it on screen?
Yeah, so was Ross.
Was it on screen? That's probably all I need to know.
Yeah.
So I did learn a couple little things. We'll see if they come up.
Well, there are some things that's like, that you wouldn't hear it in the movie anywhere, see it but the knowledge
like
is
Ewoks
available.
or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, where Ewok isn't said, but it's there.
When Ross and I were discussing this, he said, I haven't gotten anything from episode 9, so I'm going to leave that on you. I don't want to watch that again. And I was like, well, I'm not going to watch that again, but I can come up with something.
No. What I said was
so
I'm
bad.
not willing to rent it.
Yeah.
Because it's not on any of the services I have yet. I wasn't willing to go
I
rent it
had
for
to
this.
go out and buy it. I bought it on Wednesday.
Yeah,
I was
same.
like, fetch, I've got to buy this so that I'm prepared for the show.
Same with me.
It was
I
awful.
had to buy it so I could watch it by today. And I was like, Disney Plus, this is why I have you, so I don't have to buy it. But no, you have to be stupid and not put it on there immediately.
See, that was my excuse for not watching it before the episode delving into it. So, hey, you could have just used that. But
Yeah.
I guess you guys want to win. I did think, after Kyler posted on Facebook that he was watching it again because he had a Star Wars podcast and he had to, I did think it would be freaking hilarious if I didn't put a single episode in here.
I will throat punch you if
But
you
I already
watch that.
But I already had some picked out.
So
I'm with you, Kyle, because I also went out and bought it for the same reason.
the worst. It was the worst. So this brings me to my second funny story. Because episode 9 is not great,
True story.
and I have tried to purge it from my memory. I also purged from my memory the fact that I completely, my kids haven't seen it. Like the twins have not seen it.
Oh, yeah.
Because I refuse to take them. They're like, well, when are we going to go see the new Star Wars? I'm like, you're not.
Yeah.
I am not going to spend a penny more than I already have on this in theaters. You're not seeing this.
Yep.
Maybe, I'll get it eventually and maybe, watch it on Disney Plus or something there. But, I'm not taking you to the theater to see this.
Yeah.
They're all bummed out. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm the dad. This is one thing where I'm just putting my foot down. Sorry. So I put the movie in, get through halfway through the credits, and one of the twins comes in. And she's like, what's this? I'm like, it's episode 9. And she's like, oh my gosh. And I was like, why is she so surprised? Oh, you haven't seen this yet. And I was like, well, science experiment time. So I paused it, and I'm like, hey, other twin, get in here. You're going to watch episode 9. So I'm like, okay. So girls, watch this, and I'm like, I'm just going to watch them. I'm going to take note of their reactions to different things.
Oh, boy.
It did not disappoint. One of the first things, they're reading the opening crawl, and they're like, wait, Emperor Palpatine's alive? That's dumb. And I was like, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And then they also noticed when Kylo Ren took his little scar mesh stuff off, one of the twins was like, wait, where's his scar? He's supposed to have a scar. That looks stupid. I'm like, yeah. And then, they asked about the snake. They were like, well, it was funny because by that point, the 2-year-old had wandered into the room as well. And so she saw the snake, and like everybody else in the theater, she went, oh no! And I was like, yeah, only not really. And then she saw the wound on the snake, and she's like, wowie, snake, wowie, because that's what she says. An owie, she says wowie. And I'm like, yeah, the snake has an owie, and both the twins were like, oh man, I'd just kill it. And I was like, well, you would think that. And so then they healed it, and they were just kind of like, huh. And then they get to the end, and this is the most beautiful part where I'm just like, yeah, perfect. So Kylo Ren gets shoved down the chasm, you know. And the twins were like, whoa, he's dead? And I'm like, well, and they're like, oh,
Right.
right? And they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah, just keep watching. So he comes back, and they were like, okay, you know, they weren't surprised. And then when he goes in, they're like, are they gonna kiss? And I'm like, yeah. And they kiss, and then Kylo Ren dies, and both of them at the exact same time, they do this a lot because they're twins, but at the exact same time, they both went, why doesn't she just save him? Why doesn't she heal him? And I was like, that's a good question, twins. No one knows. There is no answer to that.
It was at that moment Rey realized she really did not want a relationship.
Yeah, friend
No,
zone.
it's just because she lives in the Star Wars universe and she knows that it's an ironclad rule that, oh, sorry, if you want to become good again when you were bad, you have to die. Like,
Yeah, the repentance process
there
is
is
hard
no
there.
becoming good and just being good. Like, the wages of sin is death. And they are ironclad about that in Star Wars. Sorry, Kylo, you were bad once. That's that. You gotta die.
So, Chris,
She probably would have killed him afterward if he had survived.
Wednesday night when I was watching episode 8, do you remember the text I sent you? Or after?
It was last night after
Yeah,
you
last
watched
night.
episode 9. Yes, I do. Of course I do. It was a great text.
Yeah, what did I say?
I read it to my wife. And let me pull it up so all our audience.
Because I
can
have a
enjoy
small
it.
confession to make.
Ross has texted me and made a good point that we didn't do our intro. Whoops. Sorry,
Oh, yeah.
everyone.
It's
If
me.
you don't know who we are, well, tough luck.
And Steven already introduced himself.
Yeah,
That's the most
I
important
think we
thing.
just intro Kyler and me.
Yeah.
It's just very unceremonious was the problem.
Yeah.
We just kind of faded into the newsy news.
So here's the text. Also, Chris, I dare say I actually kind of enjoyed episode 8 yesterday. You have won a great victory. And then he said, granted, I did sleep through most of the nonsense.
I did. So I was talking with Steven. Yeah, I fell asleep. I did actually when I got to the end of it. I was like, you know, that actually wasn't horrible. I'm happy. It was okay, you know. But then I started thinking about it. I'm like, I did sleep through a lot though. And then I started thinking about, okay, what's the last thing I remember before I fell asleep? And it was right when they have their first discussion about how to sneak onto Snoke's ship, and they're like, okay, we got to do this, but Holdo can't know about it. And that's about where I conked out. And then I woke up right after the big blast that blows through like the blast doors in the mine.
No,
And then, so I was like, oh, I slept through a lot of that. Really, I was awake for my favorite parts. No wonder I enjoyed it so well.
Yeah, fair enough.
I
I'll
did
take
miss
whatever
out
one
on
I can
DJ
get.
though, and I do like
I do
DJ.
love DJ.
Oh, I was telling Kyler, so this week I watched Malware, I watched Force Awakens, Rise of Skywalker, then I watched Last Jedi today. And Force Awakens has always been my favorite, but I was getting done watching Last Jedi, and I was sitting there watching it, and I was like, oh my goodness. Is this one my favorite of a trilogy now? Because I was going through it, I was like, ooh.
It's a big day for Chris, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
Nice, it's
I
nice.
was just going
I
through.
mean, I will grant that part of that is probably the side effect of Rise of Skywalker upon Force Awakens is not
Also
great.
that.
Yeah.
Like I was going through clips of Force Awakens looking for stuff I could ask questions for, and I was like, you know, I liked this movie so much when I first saw it in theaters, but now I'm watching these clips and all I can see is how much of Rise of Skywalker's attitude is here, is of this just sort of laissez-faire whatever, and I was just like, this is, it's still okay. I know it's okay in my head. It'll fade in time, hopefully, but yeah, it just.
Along with that, after watching Rise of Skywalker, I did watch the making of the Skywalker Saga documentary on there, just want to watch it, and I probably messing this up, but JJ was talking about he never knew he'd come back, do 9, that stuff, everything. And he said something along the lines like, had he known he was coming back, he would have done everything the same. Which is like, well, okay then.
All right,
Wow.
then. That's I guess you can commit to that if you want.
That's a bold move, Cotton. We'll see how it plays out. Okay, but enough story time. I think we're ready to...
Yeah. All right, Ross. How about I take the first one since I got a few more questions.
So is the
Sounds
winner
good
the
to me.
biggest loser in this one?
How are we dinging in?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right. You each need to have your
buzzer.
buzzers.
Oh, boy.
You think about that for a second while I explain what we're doing. So Ross and I both have some questions. Like I said, we came up with them independently, so we may be eliminating some as we go along. I started out with the same Jeopardy categories as Kyler has been using. I added in one or two, and I have at least one question per movie per category. And
Oh boy.
so you will be hearing from each of them. So my categories that I pulled from Kyler were the creature feature, which is of course non-sentient creatures.
Yep.
We've got technological terrors, which is about equipment and vehicles primarily. And Facehead Man Guy, about aliens. May the Force be with you, which is quotes, and is the only one in which I have a full 5. Because, that one's relatively easy. It's hard to find good quotes.
It
that are
is. Now you
distinct,
guys
but
know
no,
the
yeah.
trouble I go through.
After doing this episode and doing so much of the setup and everything, I appreciate a lot more what both of you do. And then we've got Wild Space, which is locations. I added in a category that's by the numbers, which asks you questions about various amounts. And then I added a category called What's in the Name, which is the proper names of certain things and places and people.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Thanks.
But I just figured, since I wasn't sure if Ross was following any categories or what, I just figured all of Ross's questions can be midichlorian. What?
Yeah.
Sound good, Ross?
Sort of. I mean, most of mine do actually fit in the how many of this thing or what's this person's name category.
All right.
But there are a couple others that aren't, so...
Cool. I'm going to start us off then with a creature feature.
You still named it Dings.
Oh, yeah, we need dings. Thank you. What
I'm
Tyler?
throwing a bone to the episode 9 fans. One last look at my friends.
Okay. And?
This is the way.
This is the way.
Oh.
That's a good one.
That's good.
All right. So, question number 1. Creature feature. On Jakku, Finn shares a drink from the water trough with what
This
creature?
is the way.
Oh, Betch.
Go ahead.
Herbivore.
Yes.
I knew it. I just forgot my own buzzer.
I guess I need a way to keep track of the score here. Let me.
Dang it, Steve.
Well done, sir.
That was going to be a question I asked, but decided against it.
You decided to do. Yeah, it was. I pulled up a lot of Rise of Skywalker quizzes online, and that was on every single one. And I was like, well, that's why it's one of my first questions.
That's also how I got ready for this week.
I didn't do any of that.
I only pulled a few from those, so hopefully it won't be too much of an advantage for you. But Ross, do you want to take it away with another question?
Yes, so... General Leia, throughout the last portion of the series, wears a very distinctive ring. How many stones are on that ring?
This is the way.
Steven.
2.
Correct.
Oh, dang it. I was going to say 3.
Hey.
I remember that because when we did the meetup to watch the 2 movies, I kept seeing it, and it's like, oh yeah, it's a ring. And then Emily and I joked about Lord of the Rings, and then I also noticed it again watching Rise of Skywalker last night.
Yeah, I keep getting distracted by it. So stinking massive.
Can I change my buzzer?
Yes.
I'm going to copy Steven. I have spoken.
All right. I love that both of you are pulling from Mandalorian.
Well, it's something shorter than one let's look at my friends, which I can't remember. The movie's terrible.
All right. Technological terrors. Question number 1. What is the official title of the Resistance bombers crewed by Paige Tico and
This is
others?
the way.
Oh,
Yes, Steven.
MG-100 Star Fortress.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it. The MG-100 Star Fortress SF-17, but I'll give you the point. Yes. If you can give me the alternate name, there's 2 official names listed.
Resistance Bomber.
No, that's why I
That's
kept
the only
that in the
other one I
question.
know.
Well, the Star Fortress was the only
Yeah.
one.
The other name that it's known by is the BSF-17 Heavy Bomber. So,
Not heard that one.
yeah. I pulled that from the Visual Dictionary. So. All right, Ross, take it away.
In the throne room of, oh no, I forget his name, Snoke. Supreme Leader Snoke, that's it. How many Praetorian guards stand guard?
How many?
How many Praetorian guards?
8.
Correct.
I think that's right, yeah.
It is. That was one of my questions, too.
I would say I know how, but I don't know if it's going to be a question later, so I don't.
All right. That's resounding lead for Steven here. All right. Next question. Facehead Man Guy. The structures on Octo's Temple Island were maintained by caretakers of what species?
The caretakers.
That's all
We have mentioned this on the
I think you
podcast
have.
before,
I know.
which is why it's my first
I only
one.
remember Luke calling them caretakers.
caretakers.
And
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the only thing they're ever referred to in the movie, yes.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I don't know.
All right, it is the Lanai. All right,
Wait,
Ross.
we've said that on the podcast?
Yeah, we have. I had heard it. Well, maybe I heard it somewhere else, but I don't know where else I would have heard that.
You have too many episodes for me to know which
That
one.
is true.
Yeah, no, that's
Steven,
legit.
fact check us.
Hey,
man.
I've told you before. I
No.
used to fact check the podcast.
That is an episode-related question. That is a Lindsay fact check.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
true. Lindsay, fact check us.
All right, Ross.
Okay. The name of Tito's four-legged, cybernetically enhanced mount in The Force Awakens is...
What's it called? Like, what's the animal called? It's a lugabeast.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right.
Kyler can answer questions.
Ooh, trash talk. All right.
I would say I'll beat your butt in Legion, but you skunked me last time in a bad way.
I had a
It
tank
was-
and you did not.
It was bad.
All
I
right.
lost Vader right off the bat. That was really good.
So we have May the Force be with you next.
Ooh.
So you have to identify the quote. Who spoke the quote?
Okay.
And the first quote is... Sorry, this is a little awkward. The fuel cells have ruptured. The collapse of the planet has begun.
This is the way.
Steven.
General Hux.
Yeah, it's
Yes, good.
episode 7.
I wasn't sure if that one would be tricky or easy, but I was leaning towards easy, which is why it's the first of the minute.
Once it said planet, then yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Ross.
Okay, so this question, I put my questions in roughly order of difficulty, but I think I might have skipped over these two. These might be a little bit more difficult, just so you know. There is writing on the side and back of Poe's black helmet. What does it say?
Snap.
Ooh.
Is that like a 500-point question?
This is the way. I'm just going to make a wild guess of Black Leader.
That is not correct, Tyler.
The Empire sucks. I have no idea.
No, on the back of his helmet, it just says Poe. It's just his name. And on the side, it says Rohal. I looked that up on Wikipedia, and I cannot find a definition. It is definitely there. That is the correct translation, but it doesn't actually correspond to anything yet.
I'll have to look that up later. I don't want to accidentally look something else up now.
All right. Next question. Wild space. What is the name of the festival seen on Pisana in episode 9?
What the heck is my buzzer? I have spoken.
Go ahead and speak.
It's the... Oh, batch. It's like the... like Festival of Life or something like that. It's,
Remember part. It's just remember part.
Yeah.
The line from 3PO, it's going through my head.
I know.
Only
5,
half of it.
I watched this last night, but I honestly didn't care.
3,
I don't
that's
know.
legit. 2,
Yeah.
1. Steven, your turn.
Festival of the Ancestors?
Festival
I'll give
of
it
the
to you.
Ancestors,
Yes.
that's
The Aki
right.
Aki Festival of the Ancestors.
Yeah, that's right.
See, I was mixing up. I thought it was... Since 3PO said it's Festival of something put on by the Ancestors, so I think I had it.
Yeah, it is tricky. All right,
And
Ross.
I remember even thinking, that'll probably be a question. I should remember that.
Okay, another translation question. The writing on the helmets worn by the Canto Bight security say...
Sounds like all of Ross's are going to be Arubish questions because he can read it on
No, that's the only two. I think.
security.
This is, Canto Bight
Yeah.
Security.
I don't know.
Okay.
I
You get
spoke.
someone- okay. No,
Security?
technically, Steven already said
Or
this is the way.
police.
So, Steven, what's your guess?
Canto Bight Security.
Ross?
That is not correct.
Okay, Kylie?
Police?
No.
I don't know.
It is an acronym. CBPD. Canto Bight Police Department.
Oh, you should give that to me. Come on.
No, I asked you what was written.
That's true.
I should have answered something in Arubish.
Technically not wrong.
Sorry, we don't give points for smartass. Unless it's better than that.
Unless it's Chris.
Well, yes, that's how I get my invite. All right, my first by the numbers question was already stolen by Ross, so we're skipping to what's in a name.
Oh no.
This is the easiest one, and it's already been answered, so be ready on the buzzer there. What is Poe Dameron's call
This is
sign?
I spoken.
Well, Steven started first, but he didn't say it right.
I did mess it up.
Okay, Kyler.
His call sign?
Yeah.
Well, the back of his helmet said Poe. It was Rohana, something like that, wasn't it?
Something
Correct.
like that.
Oh, no, Black Leader. Okay, yeah, his call sign is.
All right, you got it. I'll give it to you, just because you're losing.
Yeah. When I saw the look on Kyle's face, like, oh my goodness, he doesn't remember me saying that.
All right, Ross, take it away.
Okay, this will be a fun one for the both of you, because I know both of you probably know this. Name all 3 of the Radis's support ships from The Last Jedi.
Oh, I have spoken.
Kyler.
So there's the Radis, there's the cruiser Nimka.
Correct?
Is that I think that's the only one mentioned in the movie. I think that's the only one named.
You know, we're giving 3 points on this one since there's 2 ships to identify, so that's 1 for Kyler.
Correct. They are named, at least in the visual dictionary.
I don't have the visual dictionary.
Aha.
I don't know.
They're also on Wikipedia. Come on, man.
Good story. That's where I got everything today because I don't actually.
I watched a video today naming all of them, but I can't remember.
Ross still has
Yeah.
my visual dictionary.
So yeah, there's the Nimka, but that's the only one I know.
Okay.
One of them starts
Steven?
with
And that's the Bunker Buster one. So
Any other guesses?
It starts with a V. That's
Cool.
all I can remember.
What do you got, Russ?
So the remaining ships are the Anodyne and the Vigil.
Yeah.
Vigil.
there
Oh,
you
that's
go.
right, the Vigil. I
Yeah.
think I did know that one.
Are these not in Armada yet? I mean, wow.
No, they don't have anything from the sequels, fortunately.
Yeah, because there's not enough
Right.
from the
Yeah, there's not enough
Yeah,
from the
that's true.
sequels. You have one wave and you're done.
Yeah.
All right. Creature feature again for me. Where in the trilogy can you find a Spetan channelfish?
This is the way.
Steven?
Octo?
Yes. I'll give you another point if you can be more specific.
The one Luke stabs with a spear.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
The answer I had was on Luke Skywalker's shoulders.
I was like, when you said it, I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's only one fish we have seen, so it has to be it.
There's actually a ton of fish on Octo, and they all have specific names, and it's absurd. But it's Star Wars, that's what we do.
Yeah, the sea monster on Octo doesn't have a name. That was one thing.
Really?
Christina was like, What's that sea monster? You should know what that is. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll go look it up. Nope, doesn't have a name.
That's hilarious. All right, Ross.
Staying on Octo, how many sacred texts are located in the tree?
I've spoken.
Kylie.
Visualize.
We need a time limit.
7
That is not correct.
or 8. It's
You
7
already
or 8.
answered.
Okay, Steven.
This is the way 6.
That is not correct. There are, in fact, 8.
Ah, so close.
You should give it to me. I was closer, and I said 8.
After you got it wrong.
That's on Ross. What do you say, Ross?
No, I think it's got to be with these two. We have
Yeah,
to get
that's
specific
Oh,
answers.
man, come on! Boo!
All right.
So I wanted to say 8, and I'm like, no, it's probably wrong.
And
I
then
think
you
it's
messed
less
up
than
and
that.
said
I know. Should go with my gut. Ugh.
Technological terrors.
Okay, here we
What is the technical designation of the enormous First Order guerrilla walkers?
This is the way.
Yes.
Oh.
ATM-6, or All-Terrain Mega-Caliber 6.
Nice. Yep.
go. Well done.
Alrighty. Ross.
So, the A-Wing pilot Tally. You both know who she is? What is her last name?
Oh, fetch! I've read these books. I should know this.
I've seen it written down.
Oh.
Just waiting on a chime here.
I can't remember.
That's not your
I want to say something, but I know it's wrong, and I know I'm getting it from, and so that's how I know it's
You
wrong.
might as well.
All right, this is the way, Jaffe.
That is not correct.
Well done,
I told
Steven.
you, I know it's
Good
wrong.
reference. Good reference. That's a Critical Role shout out for our listeners there.
Want to guess, Kylie?
I want to say it starts with a K, but I can't remember.
Ross?
That is not correct at all. Her last name is Lintra.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right.
It's alright, she had like 10 lines in the whole sequel trilogy, so who cares?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, Facehead Man Guy for
Oh.
2 points if you can get both parts of this. What is the name and species of the alien who stole the Millennium Falcon from Han and Chewie?
Ooh.
His
That's a rough one
name
there.
gets mentioned in Force Awakens, but
Yeah,
not
it
the
does.
species.
Yeah.
I don't know the species.
This is a way. Name Duquesne,
Yes.
and I have no idea what species. Wait, no.
You want to guess a species?
Wait,
I mean, there's a slim chance you could get it right.
yeah, exactly. Deveronian.
No.
Okay.
Guess that.
A Twi'lek.
No. Sorry. Yes, it's Gannis Duquesne, a Kajane a red Nycto.
Oh.
Nikto.
Yes. Ross.
Nyctos are criminals.
Wow.
Because in Star Wars, every member of a race gets automatically shoved into one role.
I can
that's
only
legit.
think of one non-criminal Nikto, and he's a Jedi who sacrifices himself on Ryloth.
Oh, that's a nice
I can think of
distinction
two.
there,
Resistance. I always forget his name.
Oh,
Yeah, that's right.
the guy with Asperger's.
Yeah, I always forget his name.
Yeah,
me too.
it's alright, it's unimportant.
I haven't watched it, but
Yep.
Alright. Oh.
Niku.
Yeah.
Nico, that's right. Okay, so the pin worn by the Codebreaker depicts what?
I have spoken. It's a red plum bloom.
yeah.
Correct.
I almost asked about that. All right.
I'm only down by 18.
Not quite. Our score, for those not keeping track at home, is currently Stephen 10 and Kyler 4.
Ooh.
I'm okay with that. If Steven likes the sequel trilogy better than I do, I'm okay with
no,
that.
he's just more determined to win. You're letting your wife down.
Yeah. I have to
do
win
every
because I'm
day.
the fact checker.
All right. May the force be with you quotes again. Who says... He says I stole it.
This is a
I've
way.
spoken.
Stephen.
DJ.
Yes, it is DJ.
Oh.
Who is the he he's talking about? Not for point.
BB-8.
Yeah,
And then he says, we stole it.
that's right. We stole it. I had to have a DJ quote somewhere. All right, Russ.
Okay. The creatures which Luke gets his green milk from are called...
Oh,
I thought this one would be too easy. I didn't put it in.
no.
See, I thought it would be pretty easy too. Wow, I'm surprised.
Yeah, this is one of the few ones I knew off the top of my head.
I have spoken. An Octoan sea cow with uncomfortable visage. I have no idea. I can't remember.
That is what
I've
they were
seen this
originally
before.
named by settlers on the planet.
Yeah, I've seen it before. I just can't remember because I don't care.
Steven?
I have no idea.
They are Thala Sirens.
All the
Yeah.
sirens, yes.
At first, I thought they were the moofs that Han talks about being milked, but they are not.
I don't even know if we know what a moof looks like.
I don't
I don't think that there's been any description.
Hmm.
Other than
I know.
apparently they have mammary glands.
That's something.
The can indeed be milked.
All right, Wild Space. The Guavian Death Gang tracked Han and Chewie to Jakku from what location? I was going to ask you the name of the Guavian Death Gang, and then I decided to take it up a notch. Bam!
The look on Chris's face. Oh, man.
That's SpongeBob face. Alright, bonus round then. The Guavian Death Gang and what group hunted Han?
This is the way.
I think it's fucking.
Conja Club.
Yes, alright.
With the leader of Conja Club? For another bonus point? Tazuich.
Well, if you, I was about to say yes,
Yeah.
but you're too late.
You shot the gun.
Shot too early. All right.
He wouldn't have got it.
Tyler shot
Or would have
first.
given it me.
I was considering it. Russ, your turn.
So, Chris
Oh, by
has
the way,
asked
his name
part of
too,
this next
where they
question.
hunted him down from.
No.
Yeah. So Chris has asked part of this next question, and so it was going to be for 3 points, now it's for 2. So, there are 3 types of walkers deployed at the Battle of Crate. What are they? We've already given the ATM-6, What are the other two?
It's actually, no, yeah, there are two. It's the first order AT-AT, and then it's for AT-HH.
Correct.
All right. Is that 1 point or 2, Ross?
2.
All right.
I thought there were Skywalkers there too, but they're not.
They're not. I looked.
Alrighty. By the numbers, how many portions does Uncle Plot offer Rey for being
I was
8?
spoken 60 portions.
Yes. Very good.
See, I knew that, but I thought you might fake us out and say, wait, on
I
his
was
birthday.
tempted.
Which is 1/4 portion.
1/4 portion.
So I didn't want to answer, say 60.
That was, I did consider, what was Rey's initial scrap normally worth? Alright, Ross.
Rose's and Paige's medallions are engraved with a stylized rendition of what star system?
Oh, what? What?
Of which star system are they engraved with? Like, so the two halves of each of the pendant both have an engraving of a solar system on them. Which is it?
I didn't know this. It's a last Jedi question.
I'm pretty sure I know where, but I can't think of the name.
I have no idea. Ross has paid way more attention to these movies than I have.
This is a visual dictionary question.
Yeah, I was going to say he has my visual dictionary. So.
Actually, this one was in the complete one as well.
Ooh.
I'm going to guess it's where Rose and Paige are from, but I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
That is correct. It is where they're from. You both give up?
Yeah.
It's the Otomok system, which is, and I was a little bit confused about the relation because it says they're from Otomok, so that might be the planet, and then it's the Hazian system, so it's the Hazian smelt. So I'm a little confused about how the names correspond with what, but I would have
Well, the
accepted both.
Otomok system sounds like it's the system, and then Hazy and Smelt, maybe that's the planet or something.
Yeah.
I feel like it was vice versa, but either
Or
way.
whatever it was.
Yeah.
Alright, what's in a name? What is the name of the bartender played by John Williams? We mentioned this in the podcast.
Yeah.
I had forgotten that he was even in the movie until I think Wednesday, and I was looking at stuff and I saw that it's like, oh, he has a cameo here. I was like, oh, who knew he had a cameo? Like,
Yes. Everyone who has ever passed wind within range of Star Wars got a cameo in Episode 9
Yeah.
because they figured that was a good way to substitute for story or something. So.
Dude,
I have no idea.
they even had a whole segment on that making of the Skywalker saga in there about it, but I don't remember them ever saying the name.
Ross, do you remember the name?
I don't.
It is Oma Trez, which is an anagram for Maestro.
No, what was interesting, evidently every single little knick-knack around him in that shot is an homage to something he's
I thought that was
done
cool,
well.
and it makes me want to go back and look.
Well, and I will clarify, I don't have a problem with the cameos themselves.
Yeah.
It's like, they're all fun and they're nice little things, but it's the fact that, it's like this movie is so jam-packed with cameos and references and everything, but it's like, I kind of wish you'd spend a little less time figuring out how many things you could jam in there and just figured out how to do it right. That's what she said. Anyway. Ross.
Okay. Also a what's in the name question. What is the name of the captain who was with Hux while Poe is tooling with him?
Oh.
The name of the captain who's with Hux when what?
The one that says, I believe he's tooling with you.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
Captain Tooling.
I wouldn't put it past Star Wars.
I know there's a big deal about it because he's evidently a pretty big comedian, so it's weird for him to be in there, but I can't remember his name.
I don't know.
Alright.
Okay, it's Captain Peavey.
Captain TV?
Peavey. Peavey.
Alright. Huh. Alright, our last creature feature from my list. The sand snake from Episode 9 is of what species?
Oh, I have spoken. It starts with a V. It's like
Venom snake.
It's like Ventrix or something like that. It's close to that. I don't remember the exact name, but it starts with a V. It's like, I want to say the Vent is in there, or Benrix or something.
You're
It's
so
really,
close, you really
it's
are.
really close to that. But I can't remember it exactly. But that's
It is the Vexus.
Vexus. That's right.
You were very close.
Dang it!
All right, Ross.
You should give that to me.
No.
What color is the thumb drive with the map piece leading to Luke?
This is
What
away.
color is the thumb drive?
What color is
I have
it?
spoken.
I already said this.
I know.
Stephen
I'm
already.
just chiming in for.
Before someone else can chime in.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyone else? Gray.
That is not correct.
Blue.
No.
Yellow. Gold.
I mean, those
Green,
are both
brown.
my guesses.
Silver.
The thumb drive is actually white. Quite white.
What?
And see, the reason why this stuck out to me is because I was sure it was black, and I realized the reason why is because at the end of the movie, it's in shadow enough that it does look dark, but when we saw the replicas, well, and at the beginning you can tell it's white, but we saw the replicas at Galaxy's Edge and they were white, and I was like, well, that seems like an odd mistake to make, but no, that was actually, they were correct, they were white.
All right, Galaxy's Edge there.
There you go.
All right, technological terrors.
Oh boy.
This is my favorite question in here. This modified Oubliette class transport was the primary starship of the Knights of Ren. What is the name of the Knights of Ren's ship?
It's probably
9.
just as useless as Sailor.
Oh, it's not
Yeah.
actually in 9, but it is in the visual dictionary and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, so it's not actually in 9?
No, I think you do see it in the background at one point.
No,
It's,
yeah,
it's in 9.
Yeah, you see
And
the
it's
ship
that long,
with
skinny one with like the sideways engines.
Yeah, nice.
This
Yeah.
is away. The smog fest because it gives off so much smoke. I don't
It's
know.
apparently the modifications that they made to the engine to get it to go faster cause it to spew poisonous gases out the side. Yeah, it's real dumb.
Oh, wow.
It really feels like a teenager's idea of what would be cool to stick in Star Wars. But no, the name goes with it. Great.
It goes with the ship or with the
No,
Knights of Ren?
it's like it's up there with Darth Maul's Sith scooter. Like it's pretty dumb.
Blood side.
All right.
Emily still gets a kick anytime she hears that.
Yeah, Sith scooter. I don't know, the Hand of Ren.
No, that would have been more appropriate. It is the Night Buzzard.
Oh my gosh!
That sounds like a tour bus.
Right?
So dumb.
Which I'm like the Moldy Crow from like the old ones. I was like, that it was pretty bad, but at least that was just like, okay, yeah, like we're making fun of our own ship or something. This is just like, no, these guys are super serious. We're super metal about this. It's the Night Buzzard. Yeah.
That makes me think of them even more as a boy band.
I know.
They're like some ultra goth emo like K-pop band.
Yeah, no, think about it. Every time we show up in Rise of Skywalker, we're always posing like a boy band.
That's
True.
very
True story. And they each, I really enjoyed it.
Kind of like the Praetorian Guard. Anytime they realize the camera's on them.
Yeah. Jenny Nicholson had a bunch of tweets about them when they first had the visual dictionary stuff released, and it's just like, oh yeah, this member of the Knights of Ren does this and that one, and people were pointing at it, and they're just like, so basically this guy's Posh Spice and this one's Baby Spice. Like, what is this?
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's delightful. I was just like, yeah, this feels like the sort of thing that's written by someone who has just barely heard the writing advice for the first time. That's like, characters should be different from each other. And it's like, oh, okay, so he likes this, but he likes this. Anyway, Ross.
Yes, so Ray's 1/4 portion meal consists of what 2 items?
Oh, I have spoken. Some self-rising bread.
They have names.
I mean, that is accurate.
That is accurate, but that's not what I'm asking for.
Well, you're just going to have to give us an answer because I know it's about as much as Skylar.
I think that's worth like half a point.
1/4 portion.
It is veg meat and polystarch.
Huh.
Okay.
All right then. Is that worth a 1/4 portion, Ross?
Sure.
All right. Kyler is
Watch
up
me win by
to
1/4
5.25.
Also, Ross, your impersonation of Unkar Plutt was so good.
That was
I thought
solid,
he
yeah.
might have actually been here in the room.
Thank you.
All right. May the force be with you. Not now, Lovey. I'm on a roll.
What?
Repeat
That's
it?
the quote. Not now, Lovey. I'm on a roll.
Oh, this is
Oh,
what
I have spoken.
it's the Codebreaker.
Codebreaker.
Yes, Master
Yeah.
Codebreaker, whose real name is.
Codebreaker?
Yes, that's all that we've got. Nobody knows his real name. He once created an encrypted stash with his real name in it and offered up the title of Master Codebreaker to anyone who could get in there. No one did.
Well,
All right,
yeah.
Ross.
Wait, is that true?
Yeah, that's from the Visual
Oh,
Dictionary.
wow.
Yeah, I read that actually. Yeah.
Evidently, he's not allowed near any electronic gambling machines.
Yeah, he can only roll dice at the casino. He's not allowed near any of the slot machines or anything.
Yeah.
See, why didn't we get a movie about this guy? That'd be interesting.
Hey,
Mandalorian
options are still
season
open.
3.
Ryan Johnson's gonna give us an entire trilogy of
I would take an Ocean's 11 trilogy about the
man,
Master
yeah.
Codebreaker.
Justin Thoreau is that? Yeah,
I'd be all
down with
over that. That'd be so cool.
Take
Wow.
my money.
Ross, what do you got for us?
All right. So, what is the name of the man that Finn talks to about trading work for transportation to the Outer Rim?
This is our way. The Red Corsair.
Ooh.
You should give that to him.
Do you have a guess, Kyler? Okay.
I don't remember any of these things off the top of my head, and then Stephen will say it, and I'm like, oh yeah, yep, that was it. So
I mean, that is his name.
So his actual name is Sidon Ithano, but he's also known as the Crimson Corsair.
yeah,
Crimson.
give it to
So,
him.
yeah,
Crimson,
Give him half
red.
a point.
Yeah, Chris, what do you think?
I think that's worth half a point. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, there goes Kyler's quarter portion lead. All right, I'm gonna skip that question because I know Ross already has it. We're gonna go with what is the designation of the stormtrooper Rey mind tricks into releasing her in Force Awakens?
This is the way James Bond had done.
Yeah, Daniel Craig. I was gonna say, how can we make Daniel out of numbers and letters?
And 007.
No, a lot of people thought that was it.
It
but
should have
there
been,
was
for heaven's
rumors that went
sakes,
around
if
the
they're
internet.
going to.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It was FN 1824.
Wow. Or if they're gonna do that, like give us like a date, like that Ian Fleming was born or something. Like that.
I don't
They should
know.
have.
This could be a significant number.
1824.
No, I'm saying that it could be a significant number in
Oh.
some way.
Yeah.
I don't know what, but
It's like the cargo shuttle on Rogue One they go in and by, and that's evidently like the director's son's birthday.
See, they should have made his stormtrooper like an officer, like distinct as an officer, so that his number could be a triple digit instead of a 4, and then have it be like, FN 007.
Yeah. But if they'd done that, then we'd be able to see his face, and it would spoil the subtle cameo.
Yeah.
You wouldn't see his face. He'd still be there, but like give him like an officer's pauldron or something.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would have been cool. Whatever. It's a missed opportunity, as so many were.
Yeah. All right, Russ.
All right. What is the name of the stable boy at Canto Bight last seen
Broom
holding
boy.
a broom like a lightsaber?
Read it today.
I have no
This is
idea.
the question I skipped because
I even looked it up multiple
Yeah.
times to keep you to ask, and it blanked out of my head when we started.
I have spoken. Sandy McOrphan.
I for the life of me can't remember. Yeah.
I told Ross I'd give you a point if you could give me the actor's name.
I'm even worse on my face stuff.
What's the name, Ross?
Tamiri Blag.
Tamir Blag, and the actor's name is Tamirlan Blaev.
I remember reading it. And
That's pretty cool that
I
they
know, right?
immortalize him like that. That's
Yeah.
cool.
I remember reading it and seeing his last name. I'm like, this sounds so bland.
See, the first site I saw it on had it misspelled it as Bleg, and I was like, Bleg? That's not a great name to have, but Blag is better. It sounds like you're bragging.
I get
It's
the
like
feeling that I
blading and
tortured myself
bragging at once.
with episode 9 for basically no reason at all.
Well, I mean, that's generally the case. But is there really a reason worthwhile?
To remind you how you remind yourself.
Well,
what's better.
here's an episode 9 question,
Oh boy.
which is not just an episode 9 question, which is why I used it. What is the serial number of Luke's old X-Wing by which the Resistance was able to identify it?
Serial number.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's call sign.
Well,
It's
it's a
It pops up when they're
X-Wing,
scanning
but
your progress, and it does pop up.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
No idea. Oh, well, I mean, it's Rogue.
No, you're thinking
Or
call
Red
signs.
Squad, it's Red 5,
Yeah,
but I
that's
know,
a-
could that, I don't know if that...
The serial number is AA589. I will give a bonus point if you can tell me what type of X-Wing it is.
Oh,
this is the way.
I've spoken. I already said it.
Yeah, I know,
It's
but I called it
T65.
first. Yeah.
I already
you
said
said
that
it
earlier.
That's true, you did
But
already
that
say
wasn't the
that.
clue, yeah.
That's okay, I have one more bonus point for it if you can tell me where they got that serial number. No, not
No,
the
no,
T65, the AA589.
Oh, it's the Disney Studio thingy, isn't it?
Nope.
Oh.
I
Oh,
don't
no,
know.
that's like A21 or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
that shows up in all the Pixar.
Yeah.
It's from Heir to the Empire.
Oh.
They used it to identify Luke's X-Wing there, and then they pulled that from
Oh,
Rise of
that's
Skywalker.
cool.
For Rise of
That's a
Skywalker.
neat little nod.
Yeah.
So do I get a point, though, for the T65?
Yes,
Yay!
I'll throw you a bone here.
Yay!
All right, Ross.
Okay. Rose's shuttle, and incidentally the cockpit of the Resistance troop transports, were cannibalized and repurposed from which starfighter?
This is the way. B-Wing.
It does
There's more to that.
It's a B-Wing cockpit. That's what it is.
an expanded B-Wing? I don't know.
That's all I know. I
That's-
just
I
know
mean,
that.
more than
oh,
that.
it's the cockpit of the Resistance transports in Force Awakens as well.
Correct. Yeah, it's all the same thing.
I
It's-
guess I misunderstood the question.
Yeah.
I thought he was just saying, like, what was it taken
Well,
from when you said
yeah, well, it's
B-Wing?
technically both. It's the cockpit of the shuttles Leia shows up in
Yeah.
Force Awakens, but it's also
Okay.
a B-Wing cockpit.
Yeah.
Well, they were taken from the B-Wing Mark II, so there wasn't just a regular B-Wing cockpit, it was the next version. But yeah, they took those old B-Wing cockpits and then put on like docking clamps and other shield things and locked them in place, and then made them the side of the troop transport, and then Rose just has one standalone as her shuttle.
That somehow makes it across the galaxy and back in time, which makes no sense.
Well, no, it makes it across the galaxy.
Oh, true.
They
It
take a
only
different
makes
trip
one
back.
trip, true. But they were planning to take it back.
That's true. All right, Facehead Man Guy. Babu Frick is a member of what species?
No idea.
One that Disney
cute
desperately
ones.
wishes was as cute as Baby Yoda.
Yep.
They really do.
And definitely tries to push it like it's the next big thing when it clearly isn't.
Nope.
Yeah. I mean, that sums up that movie. But.
Well, yeah. I don't know.
What did you say, Ross? Did you have?
Just that he was, the cute species.
Yes. It's Anzelin.
Okay.
Deep. Cute.
I mean, he is cute. He's just not.
That's debatable.
Eh.
He's not like heavy internet meme worthy cute or
I
anything.
mean, I don't think he's cute at all.
And I think he's one of those that the personality helps.
And
If you like that personality, which I thought was meh.
Yeah.
I mean, not
No, I don't think he's
terrible,
great,
but
I
it's
don't
not
think he's bad.
great either. Not like Baby Yoda.
Right.
Yeah, maybe
I
he
agree.
doesn't have a
Oh,
personality.
but he's so cute though, Chris.
He doesn't have
That's
a
what
personality.
makes
He's
him
a prop.
so cute.
He's a prop.
I can do that.
He has a baby personality. I mean, pushing the buttons and all that.
No.
Yes.
Ross.
Stop
No.
it, Chris.
He doesn't have a personality, and he doesn't have any emotional connection with Mando. So, anyway,
Season 2.
I mean, yeah, there's room for that. I always point out, I was like, compare it to Boo and Sully from Monsters Inc. It's like,
Oh.
there's a kid who has a definite personality and definite connection with the adult trying to take care of her. And comparatively wise, it's just like, yeah, there's nothing. Anyway,
It's
sorry.
just a living MacGuffin.
One of my soapbox tangents there. All right. May the force be with you. Who said this quote? Wait, do we believe this?
I've spoken.
Kevin?
Pope? I don't know.
Incorrect.
This is the way. Finn?
Incorrect. Rose Tico.
Okay.
It's I had to put that in there because it's like the one thing she says in that movie. So
When'd she say?
Oh, it's
that's
when
when
they're
they
like
when
Palpatine's
Palpatine's
alive.
back, and she's like, "Wait, do we believe this?"
Yeah, my head immediately went to when Puck says he's a spy.
Ah. All right, Ross.
The resting place of the ships that were lost in the Battle of Jakku is known as what?
have spoken? Oh, no. My initial guess is wrong. I was going to say the sinking fields, but I don't think that's it.
That's not correct.
Correct that he's incorrect?
Kyler is not correct in his answer.
He is correct in his incorrectness. Okay.
Correct.
This is a way I don't think it's right, but it's the only other one I can think of is the Gobi Badlands.
It is not correct. The area is called the Graveyard of Giants.
Graveyard of what?
Giants.
Giants.
Oh, that's pretty straightforward.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Here's a good
Yeah,
one.
the sinking fields. That's where Poe's TIE fighter crashed.
It's where Ray
And-
tells BB-8 not to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Wild space locations. The First Order's Company 77, Janus Company, committed mutiny at a battle at this location.
I've spoken. Oh, it's not where they live now.
No, she says the Battle of.
Oh, it starts with an N. Like Navarro or something like that.
No, Navarro was something else. I don't remember what it is, but
I don't know. All I can remember is the Battle of.
yeah, it's pretty tricky.
It starts with an N, I'm pretty sure.
Close. It is Ansett Island.
Ansett Island.
It is an anagram of Staten Island, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure why that's significant. But
Yeah.
Right.
I have 2 left. Chris, how many have you got?
2.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
This is almost
Until
over.
they're the same 2.
Yeah. Probably not, actually. The base on Crate that the Resistance flees to was originally established by whom?
This is a way.
I just won.
The Rebellion.
Stephen
Yeah,
was first. By whom? I'm looking for the person in particular.
Oh.
General Leia. Well, she would have been Princess Leia at the time.
Stephen buzzed in first.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Stephen. Take the point. Say Princess Leia.
I think it was Leia, but I think Luke was also there with
I
her.
don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't believe so. It's in the comic, the
Yeah, I
Rise
know.
of...
And then doesn't Scar Squadron show up behind them? That's why I think
I
Luke's
think
there.
so.
I don't know. I haven't read it. I've just
No.
seen a YouTube video that recaps it.
You are both incorrect. The base was originally established 3 years before the destruction of the first Death Star by Bail Organa.
Leia.
Leia.
Yeah,
That's
Leia
actually
eventually
funny.
Tracks it down on her own, and then that's how she discovers that her parents are part of the rebellion. The base is abandoned, and then after the destruction of the Death Star, Luke, Leia, and Han go back to Crate to see if it's still viable as a base. That's when Scar Squadron catches up with them and they decide it's not viable.
All right. By the numbers. I've found 2 different answers to this that conflict, so I'll give you a point for either one. I'm pretty sure I know which one is right, but I like the other one better. So, by the numbers, in the Battle of Exegol, how many ships come to the rescue of the apparently beleaguered resistance?
No.
This is the way. Way too many.
Well, that's true. Yeah, you think that now. Wait until you hear the number.
I'm going to say 10,000.
Incorrect. Got it?
Are we going to get points for who's closer?
Yeah, all right, I'll give you half a point if you're close, but closest without going over.
Can I make a guess too?
Closest without going over.
So,
Okay, let Ross go.
Well, no, have Kyler go first, and then
Kyler has to go first, yeah.
Ah, dang it, come on. I'm losing so badly anyway, just let Ross go.
I like beating you into the ground.
Yes, you do. I am going to say... $3,800.
Incorrect. Ross.
My guess is almost 1 billion.
Well, I guess the half point goes to Stephen, closest without going over. It is, in fact, either 14,448 or over 16,000, which I believe is the accurate one that I see bandied about the most. I'm not sure where that
brother.
hyper-specific one came
It's
up.
about
But
16,000
yeah,
too many.
man, Lando had a very productive 15 minutes there.
Yeah.
sure
If
did.
it was even that.
And it spent 30 years just traveling the
It's
galaxy
amazing
collecting
that
debts.
Leia didn't, think to call Lando for the battle.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Because even with the supremacy and stuff, well, I guess no, the supremacy was
Gone
out
by
of commission. But even with whatever fleet showed up at Crate, it was not hundreds
even
and hundreds
close.
of Star
Yeah.
Destroyers. So with over 16,000 randos showing up,
Yeah.
you could have wiped out the First Order right there.
Remember, this is a free tip for people who want to be a writer. Bad writers always go for scale when they don't know what to do.
Well,
Just scale it up, make it big, make it bigger, make it bigger. And that's all that was.
yeah. And so, other thing, fact check thing, I think the First Order by then only had like a handful of Star Destroyers by Crate, because Beholden Maneuver takes out Supremacy, and then several
and then
other
a
ones.
bunch.
Yes.
True.
True.
But that wasn't the whole First Order. First Order was put
Naturally.
That's
Yes.
fine,
Yeah.
but even if they have a dozen, which, okay, that, it's ballparking it, it's about a dozen.
If she'd called Lando, he barely could have just been like, hey, can you hold out for 15 minutes? I'll be there with over 16,000 ships.
Right, and then, I know the First Order had other ships elsewhere, but you would have wiped out the entire First Order leadership
True.
True.
in one go, and then it's like, hey, since everybody's here, let's just, light speed skip or whatever to each planet where there's the First Order and
That's
then
what
taking
he
them out.
must have done? I don't know.
Take out the one or two ships there, and boom, just call this a.
Yeah, he must have light speed skip.
It actually is, the problem is that Lando had engineered this massive, he put together this massive fleet, and he wanted to be the hero to save the day, so when Leia sent out her signal, he was like, no, none of you go. We wait until I can be the hero.
Lando is secretly the Palpatine of
You
the Secret
can go
Trilogy,
where
just
Reynolds
running everything
says
from
you
the
can
background.
Lando was sitting there like, they didn't even put me in the last movie, they didn't put me in this one. I get to be the hero next time. Alright, Ross, your turn.
Wasn't that last one mine?
No.
Oh, no, that's right. That was number of ships. That's right. Okay. The compass, seen in Luke's hut and in flashbacks on Ben Solo's nightstand, originally belonged to whom?
This is the way.
The compass?
Palpatine, or at least it came from a Palpatine, secret hidden vault.
That is correct.
Yes.
Yeah. I see Stevens played Battlefront 2.
Or he's listened to our episode. That's how I knew that one.
Did we talk about it on our episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, you talked about it, Ross.
You described that as the redeeming point of Battlefront 2, is that we got more information. You enjoyed that.
Yeah, we got a little bit of some tie-ins, yeah.
Matt Mercer's in it.
All right, is this our final one, Ross? Was that your last one?
That was my last one.
All right. Our last one, our most important quote in the sequel trilogy. That sounds very scary. You must be very brave.
I've spoken. The lady who obviously has a crush on Chewie. I don't know her name.
Maz Kanata? No.
No. She lusts after Chewie. This doctor lady clearly has a deep,
I figured I would only get the doctor lady. I will give a point for that, but I'll give you another point if you can tell me her name.
Nope.
Yep. Cool. Her name is Dr. Colonia.
Okay.
All right, and that is it. The final tally stands at Steven, 19 points.
I don't even think I got
Tyler,
double digits.
7.25.
That's true.
Okay, good job.
7 and 1.
Congratulations, Steven. You obviously like these movies way better than I do.
I'm just willing to watch them and actually pay attention.
Oh, please. You don't have to like something to know it well.
That's true. I'm not even bothered.
I know a lot of things that I don't care to know well.
It was really a struggle for me watching the sequel trilogy.
Oh,
I have to actually pay attention to
I
this.
didn't even go in for that. I'm surprised you
I
did.
kept getting on the computer I'll just check Facebook real quick. This seems not that important.
Yeah.
And then with episode 9 I was like, oh, stay awake. Okay, watch your kids. See how many times they're disappointed, which was a lot. But yeah.
Yeah, Dean hasn't seen any of the sequel trilogy yet. He's 7. He's such a sensitive soul, and so we haven't gotten to episode 3 yet because I'm thinking that'll hit him pretty hard. And then I was like, yeah, but once he's seen that, I feel like 7's not any darker than that, and 8'll be fine. But then I was like, no, he's not allowed to watch 9 until I'm guaranteed he's old enough to be able to look at that and go, well, this is stupid. Which, to be fair, he already did that with Jar Jar in episode 1, so maybe. But...
Hey.
There's hope.
All right.
Well, that was that.
Congratulations. Back
Yeah.
to Steven.
He
You
deserves
retained
it.
the title.
Yep. I don't know if I want to retain that.
And, yeah. So, thanks for listening. We hope you had fun playing along at home. And you guys really should play along at home when we do these things. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. So if you weren't playing along at home, just go back, start the episode over again, and see
Yeah,
how you
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
And
No, I'm pretty sure they've already forgotten half of it.
Yeah,
Most
for
of it's
real.
not that memorable.
Be sure to follow us on Twitter at More Civilized and join the Facebook group. It's called the More Civilized Podcast. I changed the name on Facebook now because I'm just learning how these things work. So it's actually like facebook.com/More Civilized.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So you can
Good
go there and
thinking.
get it. And there we go.
And if you do join the Facebook, you can find such gems as this week's Meme of the Week.
Meme of the Week!
And actually, this is a set of memes that has been posted by longtime listener Mark Burdett, who is apparently starting to crack a little bit in his quarantine. So Mark, I'm a little worried, but your posts have been amazing. Where he's just done this series of quarantine thoughts, is what he's titled them, and it's just things like, what if C-3PO was a god? Or what if Obi-Wan didn't have the high ground? And just all sorts of other just little things like that have just been a treat.
Yep. Good times.
Absolutely. And you can follow me on Twitter at Random Paladin.
You can find me on Twitter at Itinerant Baxter. You can also find my work at my author website, writerinthehat.com.
I just want to give a shout out to Eric and our buddies over at Hotspack.
Yes, yeah. Oh, and I wanted to give a shout out to Abinadi. I don't know, I might be stealing this from Ross, but for his Kyler quote of the week a couple weeks ago, Kyler, newsy news.
Oh, it's the worst!
Episode 86, folks.
Kyler, you're demoted from leadership of Team News.
I'm the only one fighting here on the front lines.
Am I a joke to you?
Yes. Anything you want to shout out, Steven?
This podcast?
Hey, if you haven't been listening to this podcast, please listen to this podcast.
Yeah, if this is your first episode, we have a lot of backlog to get you through your quarantine.
Yeah. Or at
You can
least
follow
to
Steven on Twitter.
drive you into a
at-
deeper madness. And
I don't do Twitter. I only got on there for you guys to contest that I didn't win.
we'll have to do more contests to make
For
it
Steven not to
worthwhile.
win?
Yeah. At least he'll be in the running.
Steven, though, you're on the podcast now, though, so
See,
you're winning.
That, and I only use the Twitter to occasionally find the posts that you guys only put on Twitter and not the Facebook page.
I'm sorry about that, Steven. I told you there was a puppy involved, okay?
We're only grateful to our Twitter followers, not to our Facebook followers.
Yeah.
But the Facebook followers are so much more funnier.
It's true, we do get more.
And we do get, I feel more
we get some
personal
great stuff on
interaction
Twitter,
there,
but
which
yeah.
is nice. Anyway,
May the force be with you.
always.
I'm Anna Graves, and thank you for listening to a more civilized podcast.
Yeah.
You guys will just have to listen carefully.
Does that really sound like us, Ross? And that's how you get a moment of silence, Ross. I don't know why you have so much.